Hey y'all, Gen X Dad Vice here. Um, so the other day I got a phone call, right? And it was from my area code, which is batshit weird. And here's why. Is because my area code is from my first duty station. It's not actually from where I'm at back home. And I do have a brother who likes to travel all across the United States, and it wasn't from any other area code. It was from that first duty station, where my phone number is from. None of my family has the same area code that I do. So it's very easy for me to distinguish family calls because they might be from one all the way across the country, or two from the area code that I grew up in, but not the area code that my cell phone number is from. Makes sense too easy, right? So typically what I do is if I get a text from them, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. What was your first name again? Or your name? And they'll send it to me. They always do because, they're trying to keep the conversation going. And I'll go to Reddit, find some not safe for work Redditor with the same name. Preferably the more disgusting, the better. And I'll copy and paste that link back into a text message response and say, oh, cool beans, is this you? And then they're so typically so disgusted with it, they don't mess with me no more. But this one was from U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. But that's not what the caller ID said. It just said the area code that my phone number is from, and then it had the rest of the number, and I was like, I'm sorry to the firefighters union and the first responders guys. I quit answering those a long time ago, and they quit calling. But just for giggles, let me answer this because I am in a position if they need help, I can't help them out now. So I'm more than happy to do so. But that's not who it was. They said they were U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, and this dude had a very strong, I want to say, East Indian accent. I could be wrong about that. I'm sorry if I am. But he also said his name was Sam Morris, which I said, really? Really, you little scammer? You got that strong of an accent and your name is Sam Morris? And he's like, yeah, my accent don't mean nothing, blah, blah, blah. I can still be a federal agent. Yeah, dude, I understand that. But I also understand immigrant culture in the United States. While it wouldn't be not uncommon, it would not at all be uncommon for your parents to give you a very American first name, they typically tend to stick to the cultural surname. And there's a reason for this, and it's very understandable once you think about it. They want that common first name so their kids don't get made fun of in school, but they want the cultural surname so that their kids have a reminder of their heritage and culture that their parents grew up on, right? It honestly, I think it's a great thing. But like, dude, come on, man. Like, that ain't really how it goes. I was like, all right, man. You know what? It sounds to me like you're a scammer, but I'm gonna let you go. And he talked a whole bunch of cool shit, made it sound like, I had a package from 8 years ago, an address that I had 8 years ago with my name on it. And they found so many grams or pounds, or I don't even remember, of cocaine in it with a bunch of money and stuff. And I was like, bro, you're full of shit. Like, that didn't happen. He's like, oh, yeah, I did. And actually, I have a number here, and I'm going to refer you to the DEA, the Department of, was it Drug Enforcement Agency. I was like, yeah, cool beans, man. You know what? Do what you got to do, and I'll talk to that guy too. So he referred me to the DEA, and heard a little beep, and then the phone changed over, and somebody else with a better accent, still wasn't quite American, whose name was Anthony McKenzie, DEA badge number 2201. Yeah, okay. Proceeded to tell me how they found 17 bags of, booger sugar in a box addressed to an address that I used to have 8 years ago. Like, this was literally 3 addresses ago, and it is so Googleable, it's not even funny. Like, if you Google my full name right now, that's probably going to be the address that shows up because that is the address I have spent the most time at in my entire life. That was only a matter of 6 years at best. Yeah, I moved around a lot when I was a kid. And then, of course, I joined the military and I moved around a lot after that. So that was the address I spent the most time at. So if you Google my actual damn name, guess what address is most likely to pop up? That one right there. But dude started telling me, we found all this stuff in a box along with a bunch of money and a bunch of cards and blah, 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 the bank account. Some of them were foreign and all this other cool stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, cool. All right, so what do you need from me? He's like, well, do you have anything to prove your innocence? No, that's not how that works in American court, dude. He's like, yeah, it is. No, it ain't, bro. In America, I'm innocent until I'm proven guilty. That's just how law works here, dude. And he's like, what makes you think you know? Like, well, I'm smart. It'll be a thing. But here's the thing. You can have all that stuff from 100 fucking years ago, and it don't mean shit right now, dude. And he didn't understand that. And he kept going, and kept going, and kept going. I was like, no, I don't think you have anything, because I didn't do nothing. I still work for the federal government, bro. I'm a contractor, but I still work for the federal government, dude. And I think you're full of shit. He kept going, he kept going, he kept telling me I had to prove my innocence. And I need to prove my innocence. And he's trying to get information for me to prove my innocence, which means he was going to try to get to how does he get money out of me, but we never got that far. Because I said, dude, here's the thing. I don't have to prove my innocence. I'm innocent until proven guilty. That's the thing in the American court system. I am innocent until proven guilty. You got my name, which is easily Googleable. You got an address from 8 years ago, which is easily Googleable because it's the address I was at the most of my entire life. And you can't prove that I put anything in that box or had anything to do with anything being put in that box. So I honestly believe you're full of shit. And he asked me, he's like, well, what makes you think you know so much about the law? And of course, me with Montism, I had like 8 different things come to mind. The first 4 were, well, 1, I watched a lot of NCIS, which I actually don't, but I don't give a shit. He doesn't need to know that. 2, I wanted to say, well, me and the wife watch Cold Case Files a lot, which we actually used to back in the day. And I follow Law by Mike on YouTube, which I really don't. But, a lot of his shorts pop up. So, I got that going for me. And I was wanting to say I'm the smartest man on the planet, which obviously is not true. Then the wife said something smartass. I don't remember what the wife said. It was smartass as fuck, but it was so funny. God, I wish I could remember it because I think y'all would enjoy it. But what I'm saying is look out for scams like that, man. If someone calls you and says that, you're being charged with something or they have some information on you that you can get in trouble for, no, don't. Fight it. Fight it. Because honestly, the last thing I thought of, and I started to say this as the dude was hanging up on me, was, you know what? You got something on me. You call local law enforcement. Come tell them to come talk to me. It's really easy. But that's also why it's important to know local law enforcement's number, because I've used that before. It would have been really easy to say, dude, just dial 804-734-7400. Tell them come talk to me. And then when they show up, cold beans, I'll go talk to a lawyer, and then I will come talk to them as needed. But that's the thing. Know your local law enforcement's number. Throw that out there. When people call you up and they're saying you owe them this and you owe them that, or you're in trouble for this and you're in trouble for that, know your local law enforcement's non-emergency number. Non-emergency number. Don't call 911 and do this. But tell them, hey, man, cool beans, you know what? We're on a burner right now. I need you to call this number and I'll answer that phone and we'll talk more about it. Try that. See how that works. That's kind of actually what I'm going to do that next time. I just want to see how that goes. And, hopefully it'll be a lot more fun. Anywho, I hope this helps, man. If anybody ever calls you and says that you owe them anything or you're in trouble for anything, give them local law enforcement's non-emergency number and see how that shit goes. I mean, if nothing else, if anything else fails, like worst case scenario is they come talk to you and be like, why did this person call me? Which is most likely because they're all scammers is going to be the case. But yeah, they'll probably do the same thing they did with me, was hang up with a quickness and like, you know what, forget about it. We're not going to call him and talk to him again. And I'm still waiting for the DEA to show up at my house. Me being a guy that works for a contractor for the federal government. All right, yeah, cool. DA's going to show up to my house. Like, son, that ain't going to happen. Bro, I promise you. What the fuck you think you are? Anyways, okay, love you, bye.